Hey guys, Lyrics back in action with a brand new series, and yes, this one's gonna stick, I guarantee it. Welcome to Roblox Reviews, the show where I give an in-depth review of all your favorite and strange games on the Roblox engine. Will we find a knockoff or a diamond in the rough? Let's find out. Arsenal is one of the most popular FPS games currently on the Roblox engine to date. Created by the Rolf community on August 18, 2015, it routinely gets updates and doesn't have to sell much to get high ratings. In fact, as of right now, it usually has about 10 to 12,000 players on a usual basis, almost 300 million visits, and 1.5 million favorites. But why is that? Let's take a look at what makes this game tick. First off, we have the game setup. Every round, players will be selected into teams, just like in games like Team Fortress 2. Typically, this will be red and blue, but depending on if the game mode is 2 teams, 4 teams, or a complete free-for-all, it can include teams yellow and green, or no teams at all. Each server runs with a maximum player count of 16, with tons of servers to keep players constantly active, with literally no wait times. Each kill scores 1 point, and kills with melee weapons award 1 point to the killer and deduct 1 point from the victim. The standard mode revolves around the gun game style that spawned from popular games such as Counter-Strike, where players have a random lineup of guns, continually switching them after every successful player kill. As of right now, there are currently over 82 weapons, along with the 3 exclusive weapons only available to Brick Battle, along with the special tool, the Trowel, which can build out different walls. We'll get to that in a little bit. Once players have reached 31 kills, they will gain access to the Golden Gun, an idea that was originally taken from the famous 007 movie The Man with the Golden Gun from 1974. This gun is special, as it instantly does 100 damage, killing a player instantaneously. It only has 2 shots, and reloads extremely slowly, so you better make sure you make every shot count. After you run out, you'll be stuck to a melee weapon until you respawn or progress to the final point. Speaking of, once a player actually reaches the 30-second kill point, they will enter Golden Melee mode. To my knowledge, this was also taken from Counter-Strike. The Golden Knife is a reskin of the basic knife gilded in bright gold, which insta-kills on backstab and takes 3 hits otherwise to kill player, just like normal melee strikes. If they are successful, the enemy will turn into a bright golden statue and become a physics object, and the round will officially be over. Since there are numerous melee weapon skins in the game, any weapon that will reach this state will temporarily turn into a bright golden sheen. In the game mode called Kill Confirmed, players will have to not only defeat the enemy team, but also collect the items, in this case, golden stars that are dropped, before they can gain a point. Many players will most likely be familiar with this mode, as it tends to appear in a lot of different famous FPS games. Unlike all other modes, this one has a time limit, with the highest team scoring at the end being victorious. This is the most unpopular game mode, and as thus it was impossible to get any footage of it since literally only one person around votes for it, and that's usually just a meme. Free-for-all completely gets rid of teams altogether, pitting everyone against one another. There are no assists, and as such the match typically goes a lot slower than usual. In this game mode, all the players' avatars are set to random colors, unless of course there are specific palettes for a particular character such as John Brick. Other than there being no teams, everything plays normally in this game. Concussion Mania pits teams against one another, all only being able to use knives and the infamous concussion rifles, usually considered a very overpowered weapon. It makes a direct line of sight shot that explodes on contact with any surface or player, and hits everything in a radius with 50% damage. Because it does 50% damage per hit, it will kill any player within 2 strikes. Also to note is the secondary effect of the explosion radius. Any players caught within it will be bounced back dramatically, often leading to an insta-kill juggling effect. It's also quite effective at knocking enemies out of bounds, as there is no way to recover yourself unless you are using an aerial juggling weapon. These would be the double-barrel shotgun, the sawed-off, and the fireworks launcher. The shotguns have the effect of launching you straight upwards into the air through the mere force alone. The fireworks launcher, on the other hand, uses its own explosion radius, so unless you're in mid-air, the fireworks launcher is probably going to be completely useless to you. A lot of expert players will tend to use this effect to their advantage, launching themselves up into the air to do aerial assaults that most others really don't typically predict. It doesn't necessarily mean that you won't get shot, but most of the time, people just don't tend to see you up in the middle of the air. You'll tend to see this a lot in Concussion Mania. In this special mode, you'll only end up with 16 kills. You'll get the golden gun at 15, and at 16 you'll get the golden melee. Though in this mode, unless there are 2 people at 16, you're very unlikely to get backstabs, since most people tend to insta-kill knifers. Gun rotation is a 32-point plus knife round, where all players will switch to a random gun in the lineup every 15 seconds. Everyone has the same gun until they reach the final 2 points. And finally, we have Brick Battle, my personal favorite. This is the only mode that completely changes the battlefield to a custom stage. In this case, it's entirely built out of LEGO-style brick structures, and they are entirely destructible since they're all physical objects. You can only get 4 weapons in this mode, all unique. The melee is replaced with a one-handed European-style sword that does half health on enemies per hit, and, like the knife, will D-rank an enemy when they are killed with it. You will also get a trowel that you're able to build different types of brick walls with for temporary defense. Ranged weapons include the bomb, a large Looney Tunes-style cartoon bomb that you can cook before tossing for maximum damage. The slingshot that shoots like crazy has no reload and infinite clip and does 20 damage per shot, and the infinite ammo 1-clip rocket launcher. Just like in Concussion Mania, it's 16 kills plus 1 melee strike for victory. Sadly, you'll only get your basic melee in this mode for the golden weapon. Personally, I'd love to see the sword itself turn gold. The only Robux purchasable pass is known as the VIP. VIP players who have purchased this item will get custom skins and extra crates, and also get access to the special VIP-only servers, which house one extra game mode known as Sword Fight. Based on Sword Fight on the Heights, also known as SWOTH, all players will have the Knight Sword, and they will attack with melee only. I have no idea if it has the golden gun since I haven't personally purchased the VIP mode itself yet. There used to be other modes, such as Typical Colors 2, Counter Blocks, Automatics, Wild West, and Railgun Royale, but they have since either been removed or incorporated into basic play once the guns have all been added. These modes used to restrict all guns to only be those in their respective categories. However, since there are now over 82 guns, well, they've changed that quite a bit. I won't be listing all of them, especially since more get added with every single update. The latest added an extra 7. Speaking of updates, this is one reason why the game is so insanely popular. It gets updated and bug-fixed frequently, with new player skins to unlock, new melee skins, and even more guns that are added on rotations. On occasion, they've even collaborated with YouTubers and other Roblox game creators, such as those behind the game Adopt Me for the Anna character, and the YouTubers and streamers Flamingo and Kaneko Kitten, which ended up becoming voice pack announcers. Kaneko is honestly my personal favorite. There are numerous special items that you can get to enhance your gameplay experience, from character and weapon skins to announcer packs, emotes, and kill effects. There are some codes available on the official Wikia page for Arsenal to get you started, including announcer packs like Kaneko's and some exclusive code-only skins like Pokey, Phoenix, and the new Anna from Adopt Me. After every round, you'll receive money, ranging from 10 at the lowest, all the way up to 50 for a win. You can use this cash to buy skins and melee weapons, announcers, kill effects, and emotes from the store from what's on random circulation. Or you can choose to take a gamble and buy a flare or character crate to get one randomly from the selection. If you get 10 of a specific item, regardless of what they are, these can be combined into one with a special effect, and 100 together gives a legendary effect. I have yet to see either, but hopefully someday, because they sound rather interesting. However, there are some skins that are unavailable, some that you just can't get anymore since they were event only. It's uncertain if they'll ever be back in circulation, but it would be great if they were someday. These would be weapons such as the Linked Sword, a Brick Battle exclusive weapon, and the baseball bat from the Summer Bash event. The rest are all from VIP exclusive Sword Fight mode. As far as I know, there's only one event skin that's currently in circulation in Summer event, which would be the guy with the sunburn. Now, let's move on to some of the pros and cons of this particular game. Let's start off with the positives. First off, this game's aiming system works phenomenally. The controls are responsive and smooth, and the parkour is amazing. With a wide array of maps, all having climbable areas, Sometimes you can get some pretty amazing vantage points depending on if you have a weapon that can send you airborne or you just climb along the rooftops decent enough. There are Easter eggs hidden within most of the maps, which are pretty fun to find here and there, and the competitive nature of the game brings a whole new level of enjoyment to a game like Roblox. The sheer amount of unlockable items is also quite fun, with over 16 maps, 82 weapons, 65 character skins, 8 different melee skins, 13 announcers, 26 kill effects, and 10 emotes. You're sure to find something that you'll enjoy. Small bonuses such as the megaphone emote make the game even more fun, as you can select any song or sound effect from the vast Roblox library that's constantly being updated to play in-game for taunts. 9 times out of 10, these are the dankest of memes, from the Megalovania Oof compilation to the sound effect. I've heard tons of amazing taunts. As well as this, the fast respawn time and easy to jump back into gameplay makes it easy to pick up and play or quit at any time. Matches don't typically last quite long, but they're almost always enjoyable. And now for the cons. What makes this game slightly less enjoyable than others? First off, we have a common FPS problem, and this would be hitbox and shot registration. Now, when I said that the controls are responsive, this is true. However, that doesn't mean the hitboxes are. The way Roblox renders and registers hits is completely client-side. This means that someone can already be around a corner and be considered safe, but if they haven't gotten there yet on your screen, they can be killed quite easily. A lot of the time, this is considered unfair, as you can shoot someone in the middle of an area, they can be around a corner, and they'll get killed. It's caused a lot of players to accuse others of hacking the game or using scripts to auto-aim through walls, but this is really just a hitbox registration issue that I see quite often, along with a hint of lag. Other than this, it's also entirely possible that if your connection is rather slow, you can sometimes be spawned halfway inside of a wall or even thrown entirely outside the map, getting killed by going out of bounds and losing a point. It's rare, but it does sometimes happen. Then there's the infamous script kiddies. For those of you who have never heard of this term before, a script kiddie is a relatively derogative term for someone who uses a custom computer script to recognize something in a program and act accordingly. For example, it can recognize a player-based movement and shoot it in that direction at the top of the object or player, aiming for where the head would normally be. Roblox doesn't typically have a way to detect this, and as such, it happens a lot in their FPS games. Easiest fix? Just quit the server they're in and find another after sending a report. There are literally hundreds of available servers at any given time. Finally, we come to the OP and BS guns list. In the OP, or overpowered list, these are guns that typically always insta-kill enemies in 1 to 2 shots or have incredible clip and consistency that are unbeatable unless you sneak behind someone. With this one, we'd have the Lmgs. Now in most games these will be relatively balanced with their horrible accuracy, but unfortunately in Roblox, with the hit registration being crazy, most of the time these actually end up somehow hitting people. The Lmgs are way too powerful due to their near-endless clips, and because of the fact that you switch guns immediately after killing someone, their slow reload speed never comes into play. It's not even a deterrent to use them like a minigun and spin them forever. The concussion rifle, on the other hand, while tons of fun, is also overpowered as hell. It can two-shot someone easily since the juggling effect with knockback makes it impossible to avoid once struck. And finally, we have the AWP. Just like in CSGO, it's typically a one-hit kill from any distance at any body part, dealing over 100 damage 90% of the time. Now, while there are some extremely powerful ones coming up, they actually make the BS list instead. This is because of their nasty drawbacks. Welcome to the BS, or bullshit list. We have the guns that are such low accuracy or fire rate, you're not likely to get kills on them unless you catch someone by surprise very up close, or are insanely lucky for a head or body shot. The revolvers, battle rifles, deagle, and hush puppy silent pistol all have the same problem. While they are able to headshot for insta-kills, their accuracies are downright horrible half the time, unless up close and personal. Battle rifles and deagles have an advantage up close due to their fire rate, but the drop-off damage and angled shots make them god-awful. Weapons such as the revolvers, especially the Webley and the Windicator, are ones that honestly nobody wants, and sometimes complain about. The Webley can instantly kill a player at close range, but you can almost never get the chance to use it. The Windicator, that's even worse. With the same slow shot speed, less damage than the Webley, and even worse range. The Musket, oh god, I hate this one with a passion. While it does 600 damage, and insta-kills enemies, it's nearly impossible to hit unless you're insanely good. It's easy to miss and only has one shot. It takes forever to reload, and you might as well just try meleeing somebody if you miss by that point, since you're going to be a walking target that's completely helpless. Unfortunately, it's in practically every single gun game's lineup. Then we have the infamous Z80. This little energy pistol can be charged up like a railgun shot or rapid fired. Either way, it downright sucks. You really can't hit people most of the time. Its range is really good, but its accuracy is so horrible you could be at point blank range in front of a barn and you would hit every single cow standing around it, and the barn would be completely unsinged. The easiest way to get a kill with this little abomination is to most likely spam it and wait for somebody to get an assist. Other than that, honestly, I'd just try meleeing people. It's easy to just get a ding of point of damage against an enemy and one of your teammates assists you for a point with most of these. To enhance the gameplay, I'd personally tweak these guns and a couple other different problems here and there. They release updates often, so it's possible they may rework some guns. A little side note is that in different maps, there also are hazards that can insta-kill you and take a point away. From different train trolleys that will come around the corner, to cars, to even pitfalls. It's honestly pretty funny to end up seeing somebody get struck by it completely unaware, but doesn't happen very often. Regardless of the drawbacks, this game itself is honestly tons of fun, and I personally love playing it. I'm eager for the next big update, especially since the last one added new awesome looking stages. I'd love to see some new game modes as well. All in all, I'd give this game a solid thumbs up, and I definitely recommend it. It's pretty fun to pick up and play now and again, and the controls are so easy to pick up that you can play on both mobile or PC. The guys at Rolve really made a gem of a game with this one. Thanks for sticking around, guys, and I'll see you next time, where we'll check out Bee Swarm Simulator, made by Onet. Catch you guys then. Lyric out.